purpose and why we need React, and moreover, how to install Node.js and how to install React. Okay, yes, clear. Okay, so I'm audible. Yes, clear and clear. And thank you so much. And happy evening and good evening, each and everyone. So today, what we are going to do is, yes, we are going to create multiple React components. Okay, very very simple. So there are so many difference between HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and then React. Okay, same like that, there are so many similarities also between HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and then React. Okay, so very easy one. So combining these three front-end technologies, okay, HTML, CSS, JavaScript into a single JavaScript file, okay. That JavaScript file is called as our React.js, and that is nothing but our component. Don't worry about it, okay. So today we will discuss about clearly, and hope yesterday we had a strong basic at why we need React and what is the purpose of React, okay. And today, so before entering into our class, as usual, are you guys ready? So ready for today? Find yourself main. Just type ready Barney in the chat box, and happily welcome each and every interested people. Okay, and today's find yourself is going to be sinus. Okay, so because the sinus don't or won't let you sign, okay, because you need to came out of your comfort zone. For example, so take it as me as an example, okay, because in my first batch, so before 2 years, okay, so before 2 or 2.5 years, in my first batch I am at state 2, okay, so I am so worry about so opening my video and then speak to public, okay, so how my friends take on this, okay, how my friends look on me. So there are so many thoughts, okay, but I am overcome that sinus, okay. So sinus won't let you sign. Always clear? So clear means just type clear burn in the chat box. And in our previous day class, we had discussed about so what is React, okay. So why React is needed. So what is single page application? What is the difference between single page application and the multi-page application? What are the defects in multi-page application, and how those defects are overcome by our single page application, and moreover, how React is better to create the single page application. Okay, if you miss the class means then that is a problem only. So as I told you before, kindly or not kindly, so don't miss out the live classes, because since it is a common online platform, I cannot able to, okay, I cannot able to assist you individually, okay. This is a common class. I need to proceed in that way, okay. All guys clear? So before entering into our class, as usual, a small announcement. Yes, no attendance link will be there. So and then more than 70% enough to get your today's attendance. You follow this for not 25 days, follow this for 23 days means yes, you are eligible to get a free certificate. Use the same mail ID and join our community group to clarify your doubts. Okay, are guys clear? So clear and then excited means just type excited Barani in the chat box. Okay, just type excited Barani chat box. And today, what we are going to see is what is components. Okay, so what is components clearly, and moreover, at the end of the class, you will definitely get the real value of the component. Okay, we can create one time, at the same time we can create for multiple times. Okay, we can use for multiple times. Okay, so for that, yes, so excited. So kindly hold on, clearly listen. I'm going to give you a recap. Okay, yes. So components in React are the building blocks of React application. Okay, sir. What is React application? So Instagram is a React application. So Instagram has so many pages. In each and every pages, Instagram has so many divisions. Okay, Instagram has so many divisions. So those divisions are called as components. And then those divisions present in a file. Okay, that file also called as components. Always clear now? So with the help of all those components, what we are going to do is we are going to create a React application. Okay, so components in React are the building blocks of React application. They encapsulate the rendering logic. JavaScript state means value. Okay, what is mean by state? The current state is 23 degrees Celsius. The current time is 1 o'clock. So those are called as state. Okay, and whenever the logic is going to change, the state also going to change. For example, so now, otherwise, clearly listen. The available tickets are 10 tickets. Okay, the available tickets are 10 tickets. So that is called as state. Okay, so just type state equal to ticket count in the chat box. Okay, just type state equal to ticket count in the chat box. The available count is called as state. Okay, what is the current state of ticket count? Yes, 10. When I am going to purchase 2 tickets, a logic is going to perform. So now what is going to be happen? Yes, 10 minus 2, the current state is going to be 8. Okay, the current state is going to be 8. Yes, state equal to ticket count. Okay, everyone's clear? So this is called a state, the UI. So using the JavaScript, so plus, minus, add, division, and then multiply, whatever may be. Okay, so those logic are helpful for us to change the state. Okay, and the behavior of UI elements. What is mean by that? When we give the dark mode, the UI become dark mode. When we scroll, it became so little size or going to visible some more. Okay, going to visible some more HTML components. So these all are present inside the components itself. Okay, in a single component, the JavaScript logic, the CSS, and then HTML. All three things are present inside a single component. So that's why it is called as the React, front-end library. Okay, so that's why React is called as the front-end library. Okay, all three front-end concepts are present inside a single file named component. Now clear? So clear means just type component clear Bharani in the chat box. Okay, clear means just type components clear in the chat box, and then by doing this we can reuse. Okay, by doing this we can reuse. Okay, today we will see about the reusability and then isolation. I will tell you the isolation. For example, if we need a same output, kindly listen. If we need a same output means, yes, definitely we need to copy the same HTML, a 100-line program, same CSS, a 200-line program, same JavaScript, a 50-line program. Okay, we need to have the same UI again means we need to copy at least 300 lines of program. Okay, that's make our application more complicated. That's make our application more complicated. But here it is very much simple. Okay, here it is very much simple. The isolation is each component manage its own state and behavior, leading to clear separation of concerns. Okay, can able to manage the state inside that at the same time can able to reusable without complication. So kindly note down these 2 points. We will discuss about while we are developing our React application. Okay, and moreover, so today task is, okay. Are you guys clear now? Today task is going to be, yes. Clearly listen. So today task is going to be to create a component. Okay, to create a component. So we have 2 ways. Okay, we have 2 ways to create a component. Can you listen? So one of the main things which will be asked in your interview. Okay, which will be asked in your interview. Yes. The first way is we can create component using class method. Okay. Okay, a blueprint and then an object like that. Okay, we can create the components. Are you guys clear? The task is to create a component. We have the 2 methods. One method is we can create the components using class method, and then we can create the component using function. Okay, are you guys clear? Yes. So class components and then functional components. So this method is used in our past too. Okay, so now as a developer, as a React developer, we are not going to use this method. Okay, we are not going to use this method until some specific needs. Okay, so not completely. Okay, not completely eradicated. Okay, not completely eradicated, but this is our past method and difficult method. Okay, the syntax will be little bit, only little bit. Okay, the syntax will be little bit complex, but this is our current method. Okay, this is our current method. Organizer, kindly take it as a bank. Okay, kindly take it as a bank, and kindly take it as a phone pay. Which thing will you choose to transfer the amount? So nowadays we are not using bank. Okay, we are only using phone pay. Same like that. This is the past method. Now clear. So clear means just type clear Barney in the chat box. Okay? Clear means just type clear Barney chat box. So in our past, yes, the bank is the best one. Okay, the bank is the best one. If you need to transfer money or if you need to get money means only way to do that is yes, we need to go to bank. Okay, but nowadays when phone pay or Google Pay came, yes, we are using definitely as you told the chat box, same like that we are going to use phone pay. So here this method is like a phone pay method. Okay, this method is going to be like a phone pay method. Functional components. I hope now you guys are clear. Yes, component types. So functional component, a simple function returning JSX. What is mean by that? Okay, so JavaScript XML, extensible hypertext markup language. Okay, are you guys clear? Extensible hypertext markup language. What is mean by that means? Clearly listen. This is also an another, okay, another interview question. This is also an another interview question. Yes, JSX. So what is JSX? Okay, so it is an, okay, it is an extension to write. Are you guys clear? To write HTML within JS file. Okay, so in our previous classes, okay, in our previous classes, what we had done? Yes, we had write our, okay, we had write our JavaScript inside a HTML file. Okay, we had write our JavaScript inside our HTML file. But now React JS, okay, as I told you yesterday, React.js. The component is a JavaScript file. Okay, component is a JavaScript file. Inside the JavaScript file, we need to write the HTML and then return the value. We need to add the CSS and then JavaScript logic. So just imagine to write, okay, to write HTML, write HTML inside a JavaScript. We need some extension. Okay, we need some extension that is called as JavaScript XML. Okay, are you guys clear? JavaScript XML. Are you guys clear? So clear means just type extensible markup language. Okay, clear means just type JSX clear in the chat box. Okay, so kindly go with the flow. Don't overcomplicate. Okay, don't overcomplicate it. So before that, what we had done? Yes, until day 16, we created a index.html, today.html. Inside the HTML only, we used scripted tag. Okay, inside the HTML only, we used scripted tag to write our program. But now what we are going to do is, yes, inside a JavaScript. Okay, inside a JavaScript, we are going to write the HTML. For that, we need an extension. Okay, for that, we need an extension that is nothing but JSX. Okay, and now simple function returning JSX, which is nothing but our HTML, can use hook for state and life cycle. Okay, so don't worry. So in our next day class, okay, in our next day class, we will definitely discuss about what is hook and then what is state and what is property. Okay, so today we are going to create multiple components using functional component, not the class component. So class component means ES6 classes that extend React component. Okay, the parent, okay, clearly listen, the parent class is React component. Now what we are going to do is we are going to create the child class. Okay, so this is the traditional method. This is the traditional method, and can manage state and life cycle method. Okay, manage state and life cycle method of its own. So don't worry, I will tell you clearly. So class components. In class components, organizer. Hold on. Don't worry about the extra concept. Okay, don't worry about the extra concept. So class component is not in use today. Okay, so 99.9% are using only functional component. But for interview, we need to know about class component. Okay, so class component have their own internal state, allowing them to manage and update data dynamically. So any listen. So nothing. Okay, I told you that class component is going to be like a bank. Okay, class component is going to be like a bank. So in bank we have manager. Okay, so bank we have manager, and then so assistant manager and the helping people. So whatever maybe. Okay, there are so many people. Same like that, components have their own ability. Okay, own ability to change their state. What is mean by state? So count 0 to count 1. That is called a state. Like when you when you deposit 100 rupees means, so 1000 minus 100, the actual state is 1000. The logic is minus 100. Then the value is the current state is going to be 900. Are you guys clear? Are you guys clearly listen? State means the current UI. Okay, so current UI equal to state. The current UI is equal to state. So here now your balance is going to be 1000 rupees. The logic is going to be, if 100 rupees deposited means, okay, 100 rupees deposited means minus 100. Okay, now this logic is going to change this state. Now what is the state now? Yes, definitely 900. If you, okay, if you, I mean, credited means minus 100. If you deposited means plus 100, again it will be 1000. Always clear now? So this is called as state management. Whenever we are using class components to create a component, class method to create a component, they have its own state method with the help of life cycle. Okay, with the help of life cycle, they provide methods to hook into specific point in the component life cycle. What is mean by component life cycle? So the component is created, the component is changed, the component is deleted. So this is called as components life cycle. Are you guys clear now? Very much simple. Instagram is clearly listen. Okay, component did mount, component unmount. Okay, component unmount. Okay, so component will mount. Okay, so these are the three different life cycle method. Okay, but don't complicate about that. What are the life cycle method means? Whenever you are going to, okay, so whenever you are going to open your Instagram, the component is going to be mounted. Okay, the component is going to be mounted. After opening Instagram, what logic should be performed? Okay, that is called as component did mount. Okay, component did mount. And then after opening Instagram, what you are going to do? You are going to like the post. Okay, so that is called as component did update. Okay, component did update. Whenever the component is updated, or else whenever the component is updated, what should be the UI? What should be the UI? Okay, the blank red color heart will be became red color. Okay, the black heart will be became red color. So these are the three life cycle method. So one is mount, and then update, and then unmount. So what happens? Okay, so what happens when you close the Instagram? What happens when you close the Instagram? All component will be disappear. Okay, all components will be disappear. When you open the Instagram, all component will be appear mounting. When you update means all component going to be update. So after updating some logic, and then unmount means when you close the component. So based on this three life cycle method, when this happen, some set of statement is going to done. When update is happen, okay, yes, some set of statement is going to happen. When the component is unmount, okay, when the component is unmount, some set of statement is happen. So this is the traditional method. Okay, this is called as the traditional method to manage the state. Okay, so yes, whenever you open the bank, the value is going to be 1000. Whenever you are going to deposit or creditor, the value is going to be 900. So whenever the component is unmount, okay, whenever the component is unmount, yes, it shows the current value. Okay, it's like 900. Are you guys clear? So this is called as the life cycle method. So inside the life cycle method, we are going to provide our different kind of desirable statement. Okay, what we need means, so we need to add or we need to delete it. After that, whenever, so before, okay, before seeing this story in Instagram, the circle will be highlighted. Okay, so the circle will be highlighted. After saw the Instagram story, the circle will be removed from the highlighter. Okay, so that is called as update. So this is called as life cycle method. Okay, it's clear now. So clear means just type clear burn in the chat box. Okay, so compare with the real time example, compare with the Instagram. And now what we are going to do is we are going to create the components using functional component. As I told before, we are going to write a function for one time. One time. Clear? Clear? Yes, super. Okay. So we are going to write the function for one time, and whenever we needed for different values, we can use that function. Okay. Same like that here also, we are going to create a component one time with some variables, and then for different variables we can use the component anytime. Okay, so anytime, every time, and whatever may be the count. Okay, and moreover, in functional component there is going to be, okay, in functional components there is going to be no own state management. Instead of that, to manage this state, okay, to add 100 plus 1000 to minus 100 plus 1000, we need an external support which is nothing but hooks. Okay, use state, use effect. So today we are not going to see about React hooks. Okay, I think in our day 21 or day 22 we are going to see about use effect and then use state. So this is called as functional component. It is the simplest way to write a component. Okay, nothing, we are going to write a function. The function is going to return a value. Okay sir, so kindly write this in your note. Okay, kindly write this in your note. Function performed and returned value. Okay. Mm, yes. Always clear. A function is going to run and return a value. The return value is going to be our HTML plus CSS plus JS. Always clear now. So this is the value the function is going to return. Okay, this is the value the function is going to return, and after returning, we are going to use that value in our UI. Okay, so write this in your note. Okay, write this in your note and just type okay, Bharani in the chat box. Okay, just type okay, Bharani chat box. I'm waiting for you. Okay, done. So now what we are going to do is we are going to create a functional component. So ready means just type let's go to the chat box. As you asked, I will definitely going to create the React app from the base. Okay, but if you miss the previous class means that is your fault. Okay, that is your fault. I cannot able to explain every concept again. Okay, I cannot able to explain every concept again. Always clear. So ready means just type let's go with one fireable chat box. So today also we are going to follow those steps. Yes. The first step, I will show you a document. Okay, I will show you a document. Here you can see that. Okay. Yes. Or guys, clear? So this is going to be your step-by-step procedure. Okay, this is going to be your step-by-step procedure. So kindly hold on. I'm going to tell you again one time. So this may be okay. This may be definitely change in the future. So based on the current version, okay, based on the current version, follow the document. Okay, follow the document. So now what I'm going to do is yes. So I'm going to create here. I'm going to create a new folder. Control Shift N, and then I'm going to provide. Okay, and then I'm going to provide the name as React. You can provide any name for that folder. Okay, you can provide any kind of name for that folder. After creating the folder, I'm entering into that folder. Okay, I'm entering into that folder. Yes. So inside the folder, what I'm going to do is I'm going to open the command prompt in that address. Okay. I'm going to click here. I'm going to click here. And I'm going to type CMD. Just type CMD in the chat box. Okay. Just type CMD in the chat box. Yes. So now the command prompt is open. Here what I'm going to do is I'm going to check the node and okay, I'm going to check the node and npm version. So we already done that. Okay, we already done that. So now the command to create, okay, the command to create a new, okay, to create a new React application. Yes, this is called as the command. Okay, npm create white at latest. Okay, we are going to use white framework here. So white at latest. I'm going to copy this. This is going to be your file name. Okay, this is going to be your file name. So file name space double hyphen space double hyphen template react. Okay, here only you can able to change, you cannot able to change here or here or here. Okay, you can only able to change the file name only. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to rename the file name as front end. Okay, I'm going to rename the file name as front end. I'm going to copy this. I'm going to copy this, and then inside the address. Okay, inside that folder address. What is the folder address? C drive. Yes, definitely the folder should be in C drive. Okay, definitely the folder should be in C drive. Users, admin, desktop, FSD 30 days, day 19, React folder. Inside that folder, I'm going to use the command. My file name is going to be front end. After clicking enter, here you can see now run cd frontend npm install npm run there. Okay, so what is the purpose of cd frontend? Okay, so this is going to be our file name. Yes, navigate to the project directory. Okay, here you can see a front end folder is created. Okay, a front end folder is created. Okay, we need to navigate to that front end. We need to navigate to that front end. Okay, here are all dependencies are created. So through command prompt, okay, that is manual method. That is manual method. Through command prompt, what we are going to do is we are going to change our current directory from React to front end folder. Okay, this is the mistake. Okay, this is the mistake. I think you've done. Okay, this is the mistake. I think that. So don't run the npm install and then run npm dev in the React folder. Okay, so you need to go to the current folder front end. Front end is your React application. So inside the front end. Okay, now the address in user admin desktop FSC 30 days day 19. Not React, inside the front end. Okay, inside React. Now we are in the front end folder. In front end folder only, you need to install the npm. Okay, so node package manager. Okay, you need to install the npm. So this will be install all dependencies. Okay, this will install all dependencies. This is the command to install all dependencies. What is mean by dependencies? To run a React, we need this depending. Okay, we are depending on this file. We are depending on this package. We are depending on this libraries. Okay, that is called as dependencies. So now all are created to run the React application. Yes. Third comment is everything is clearly mentioned here. Okay, everything is clearly mentioned here. What we are going to do is we are going to npm run development. Our local server is created. What is maybe local server means in the development side. Okay, our project is not uploaded. Okay, our project is not uploaded in the Google Chrome. Our project is run on our Node.js, our local server. Okay, so now what we are going to do is I am going to paste the address. So just imagine you are going to search Instagram. Okay, the Instagram application is here. Okay, the Instagram application here. Same like that. This is our file name. Okay, this is our file name. Whenever copy paste the address and click here, yes, this is going to be our front end. This is going to be our front end. Okay, so white plus React. So now the state is 0. Okay, now the state is 0. When I press the button, it is became 1. So this is called a state management. Okay, so 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So here what they are indicating, okay, here what they are indicating is inside the source folder. Okay, inside the source folder you need to edit the app.jsx. Now the current file is app.jsx. Now what we are going to do is we are going to edit that file. Okay, for that we need to open this folder. Okay, we need to open this in a VS Code. I'm again going to open the command prompt in that address. So what is the shortcut key? Okay, so what is the shortcut key which I taught you in the previous class? Yes, CODE dot. When you provide CODE dot in that address, the VS Code will automatically open in that specific address. Okay, the VS Code will automatically open in that specific address. Always everything in your hand. Okay, for example, here also you can see they indicating you that edit src and app.js. Okay, so now you can see that we are in our src folder. The arrow mark down means, okay, the arrow mark down means we are inside the folder. The arrow mark pointing rightwards means we are in the outside the folder. Okay, so we are outside the folder, we are inside the folder, we are outside the folder, we are inside the folder public. Okay, same like that. Now we are outside the folder. Now what we are going to do is we are going to inside the folder. Here you can see app.jsx. Okay, here you can see app.jsx. So this is called as the counter. Okay, this is called as the counter. The initial count is, for example, what I'm going to do is the initial count is going to be 77. The initial count is going to be 77. Now look into our React app. The count is 77 initially. Okay, you can see. So it is clear means just type 77 in the chat box. Okay, otherwise now it is clear means just type 77 in the chat box. I hope you understand. At the same time, don't worry about anything. Okay, because this is your first day. Okay, this is your first day. It will be definitely difficult to grab. Okay, but what you need to do is you need to put your own extra effort to research and then to understand each and every definition, their working, their progress, whatever may be. Okay, you need to search. Yeah, super. 77 clear. So whatever the things we are providing here, it will be visible in the UI. Okay, for example, so white plus React. Now what I'm going to do is you plus me. Alright, kindly type you plus me in the chat box. Okay, so now the entire title is going to be like you plus me. Okay, now the entire title is going to be like you plus me. So this is the working of React application. Okay, they already provided as the application. Now what we are going to do is we are going to change accordingly to our front end need. Okay, yes, so you and me with a heart emoji. Happily welcome, guys. Thank you so much for response. I hope now you got the idea. So already a basic structure is provided. Now what we are going to do is we are going to remove all these. Okay, now we are going to remove all these value inside the return. As I told you before, a function is going to perform on return value. The return value is our UI. Now the UI is disappeared, okay, because we deleted all our return value, okay. Inside the return nothing. And moreover, this is like your organizer. This is like your HTML opening tag, okay. This is like your HTML opening tag. This is called as empty fragment, okay. This is called as empty fragment, and this is like your HTML closing tag. Without this tag, we cannot able to write our value, okay. So without this tag, we cannot able to write our value. It will be definitely so that React has no return value. So inside a JavaScript file app.js, okay. Inside a JavaScript file, definitely we need to have a tag, okay. This is definitely must. So you can provide a division tag also, okay? You can provide a division tag also. That is not a problem, okay. So that is not a problem, but this is like our HTML opening and HTML closing. It is clear. So clear means just type I got it, one in the chat box. So you need to have an empty fragment. Whatever things you are going to type here, like H1, you and me means everything will be written. Okay, everything will be written, and then so on your UI. Okay, and then so on your UI. Okay. Yes, I got it. Okay. I hope everyone clear about that. So now, where are all these tail came from? Okay, where are all these tail came from? So let's see here. Okay, there are two CSS files. One is app.css. Okay, one is app.css. So we deleted. Okay, as we deleted everything, there is no need for the style also. Okay, we already deleted the HTML part. Now there is no need for the style also. And then what is index.cs? Okay, I will tell you. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete the already pre-written CSS for app.css and index.css. So Varni, what is mean by index.css? Because the JavaScript, or guys clearly listen, the JavaScript only return the HTML value. Okay, the JavaScript only return the HTML value. In HTML file only the return value is going to be placed. Okay, the return value is going to be placed. Now tell me, what is the ID name of this empty division? Okay, in index.html, kindly listen. So register in your mind, okay, register your mind deeply, okay. Only HTML can be visible, okay. HTML only visible to us. Are you guys clear? Only HTML visible to us, okay. The app.js return value. Okay, sir. Kindly listen. App.js only return the HTML CSS. Okay, only return the HTML and CSS. But in index.html only, okay, index.html only, the return value is going to place. Now you guys clear? So clear means just type clear Bernie chat box. Okay, Bernie. How it is placed? How it is placed in the HTML? So what is the procedure? Okay, here you can see. Yes, the ID name is root. Okay, root clear. So inside this, okay, inside this root only, we are going to place our return value. Okay, inside this root only we are going to place our return value. Here you can see src main.js. So there is another file named, okay, there is another file named which is between the app.js and main.js. Okay, so this JavaScript file is going to place the return value in the HTML file. Okay, you can see main.jsx. Clearly listen. Create root document dot get element by id root dot render. So now you can able to understand the dot. Okay, yes. So this is the index file, HTML file. The empty division name is root. Okay, the empty division name is root. In this JavaScript, what we are going to do? We are going to render the value inside the division named called element name called root. What we are going to do? App. Okay, app.js. The component name is app.js. You can see you and me is presented one time. For example, I'm going to copy this component. So as we told that, as we saw about that, components are reusable. Okay, components are reusable. I'm going to copy the component and I'm going to place it for 4 times. Okay, I'm reuse the components for 3 times. Now the value is going to be 4 times. Okay, component 1, component 2, component 3, and component 4. All components are same value. App.js. Okay, all components are same value. Okay, now it is clear. So clear means just type reusable in the chat. Okay, so now what we are going to do is we are entering into app.js and then h1. So I am component, whatever things are present in this components. If we call that components for, if we call that components for 4 times means, yes, definitely it will be called for 4 times. Okay, this is called as reusability of components. This is called as reusability of components. Now you can able to understand that, yes, the app.js is going to return the value. Here you can see return the value and export the app.js. Okay, return the value and export. Are you guys clear? So after exporting the value, we can able to import. Okay, we can able to import. Here you can see the app function name is exported. Here the app is imported. After imported, we can use that function. Okay, after imported, we can use that function. So this is called as app. Okay, and strict mode is for, just to place the mouse here. Okay, strict mode is for, let's you find common bugs in your components early during development. Okay, so this is the value provided by the script mode. Okay, script mode is also a component. Okay, what are the things you are going to see in green color? Okay, what are the things you are going to see in green color? It is going to be component, and if it is blue color means it is going to be tag. Okay, so just type green equal to component in the chat box. Just type green equal to component in the chat box. So now what we are going to do is inside the app.js. Okay, inside the app.js. Guys, I'm going to tell you only one time. Yes, we are going to write all our HTML and JavaScript inside the app.js. Okay, yes, green color equal to components, and then we are going to place all those return. Okay, all those return HTML CSS JavaScript value in the index.html using the file main.js. So the division name is going to be root. Okay, here what we are going to do is we are going to root dot render means place. Okay, render means place. Root dot render app.js. Okay, so what are the things which will be returned and export? Okay, exported in the app.js, which will be imported and then render in the index.html file where the division is presented. Very much simple. Don't worry. I will tell you in the upcoming classes also. Yes. So now what we are going to do is I'm going to create. Okay, I'm going to create 3 components. Okay, first dot js and then, okay, sorry for that, second dot JSX. Okay, yes. So JSX, because it is a very easy method to write our JavaScript. I mean HTML instead of JavaScript, and then I'm going to create a third component called J third dot JSX. Okay, I'm going to create three components, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to place all these three components inside the parent component. So app.js is called as parent component. Okay, so app.js is called as parent component. Okay, and all three is called as child component. Okay, all three is called as child components. Okay, guys, clear? Okay, yes, all three components are called as child components. It is clear means just type clear Bernie chat box. So now the parent component is going to be visible. So inside that parent component, instead of providing HTML tag, what I'm going to provide is I'm going to provide the okay, I'm going to provide the component itself. Okay, the first component, second component, and then third component. So now what we are going to do is yes, clear. Hold on. The main part. Okay, we came for the main part. Yes. So inside the you need to make sure that inside the source folder we are going to create first dot css, same like that inside the same like that inside the source folder we are going to create second dot cs, I mean sorry for that, okay, sorry, JSX. Okay, so JSX, so first dot JSX. Okay, and then same like that second dot cs, we also create a css file also, and then same like that third dot JSX, and then third dot css. Okay, we created first, second, third, fourth. Okay, first JSX file and then CSS file for that, and then second CSS file, third and then CSS file. Okay, okay, clear that? So clear means just type only the chat bus. We just created a file. Okay, we just create a file. So now inside the first dot JSX, what we are going to do is we are going to create a functional component. Okay, RFCE. You can see React Functional Export Component. Okay, RFCE means React Functional Export Component. By giving this shortcut, by giving this shortcut, you can able to create a function. For providing this shortcut, you need to install these three things. Okay, so you need to install this extension. Kindly took a screenshot. Okay, so kindly took a screenshot. ES7 React Redux React Native Snippets. Okay, so you need to install this extension for the shortcut. Okay, so whenever you are going to type RFCE, the shortcut need to be visible only when you install. Okay, only when you installed this extension. Okay, and then you can also install. Okay, and then you can also install React code snippets. Okay, you can also install React.js code snippets. So these are the main two extensions you need for to developing React application. Okay, yes, clear. Okay, so React.js code snippet and then ES7 React Redux React Native snippets. Okay, yes. So done. Okay, so this is the extension you need to install. Okay, now what we are going to do is I'm going to explain this. Okay, I'm going to explain this. Clearly listen. RFCE. So this is shortcut key to create the React functional app. Okay, not the class component, functional component. Yes, it is like a normal function. Okay, so function name is going to be first. This function going to return a value. Okay, and guys, clear listen. So this is like a normal function. Function add button, function delete button, same like that. Function first. Inside the function, we are going to return a value. What value means an HTML value. To write a HTML value, you need to have the opening tag and closing tag. This is called as the empty fragment. Okay, this is called as the empty fragment. Okay, so inside here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to write h1 first component. Here, what I'm going to do is h1 first component. Okay, h1 first component, and that same like that. What I'm going to do is same like what I'm going to do is I'm going for second dot JSX or FC or FC. Inside here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to write an h1 tag with second component. Okay, h1 tag as second component. Okay, and same like that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to the third dot JSX. So don't worry, it will be definitely easy for in the upcoming class. Okay, so in our upcoming class also we are going to see this. Don't bother about that. Again, I'm going to provide the RFCE. So inside this parenthesis, what I'm going to do is again a h1 tag and then called as third component. Yes, going to be a third component. Okay, yes. So now in our output, nothing is visible. Okay, in our output, nothing is visible because inside an app.js there is nothing. Okay, inside an app.js there is nothing. So we created a function named third. We created a value inside the return. We returned the value and then we also exported the value. Okay, we also export the value. Okay, defaultly we exported the value, but now we are not included it in the app.js. Okay, because only the app.js. Okay, because only the app.js is rendered inside the HTML. Okay, rendered inside the HTML. So now in the parent component, what we are going to do is we are going to import all these child component. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to open the arrow and then type first two. Okay, you can see with address. Otherwise, we need to select from the address. Okay, we need to select from the address. Okay, so first it becomes green. Okay, whenever it becomes green means it is a component. Okay, it is a component. Now you can see the first component is presented. The first component is presented because it is imported. Okay, the value which is exported here, it is imported. Okay, it is imported. Same like that. Now what we are going to do is second from the location second. Okay, so second component is imported. So since it is inside the app.js, it is presented in the index.html. Same like that, what we are going to do is we are going to call the third component. So all three components are in the green color. Okay, so now the third component is also visible. Are you guys clear now? So clear means just type clear Barney in the chat box. So now same thing which you done in the normal HTML and CSS. What we are going to do is you are going to import the CSS file like this. Okay, import the CSS file like this. Kindly wait. So now I'm going to now I'm going to open the I'm going to name this as not as simple. Okay, Okay, here we cannot able to style. Okay, here we cannot able to style. So now what I am going to do is, listen, now what I'm going to do is, here you can see I am going to place inside another division. So name this division class name. Okay, in React it is not simply class. Always clear. In React it is not simply class. It is called as class name. Okay, so class name is going to be like main one. Okay, class name is going to be like main one. Same like that. Here also same thing. So inside the division, I'm going to provide the second one. The class name is going to be main2. Same like that here also. So leave this division, leave this division. This is the common division, okay? We need to create another division and need to put here. And the class name is going to be main3, okay? Same concept which we done in the day 5, day 6 and day 7. Now what we are going to do is, we are going to first dot css and called dot main1. The width is going to be 100 viewport width, and then the height is going to be 10, okay, or we can provide 15 viewport height, and then the background color is going to be like what we can give, so blue violet, okay, so we can give blue violet, okay, yes. So now the background color is going to be blue violet. Here you can see nothing is changed, okay, nothing changed. So for that we are going to refer app.js. Here you can see import the app.css file like this, okay, app.css file like this. Same concept. What we are going to do is, here we are going to import, so quotation dot slash, okay, dot slash, so third dot css. After imported the, okay, so in our HTML concept we use link tag, okay, in our HTML concept we use link tag. How many of you remember? So remember means just type link in the chat box. Here we are going to use this kind of method, okay, import. Now the output is going to be, okay, so what happened? So okay, I provided third.js, okay, so sorry for that. In which thought I got it, okay, first.css, yes. Now we can see the output, okay, now we can see the output. So nothing is changed, okay, anything we done here. The class name is main1, okay, spelling mistake also. Okay, so many, okay, so many barriers up to, okay, main.js, okay, yes, I saw that. Thank you so much. I done two mistakes, okay, one is third.js, now the main.1, okay. So now we are going to check the output. Yes, the output is changed, okay. Now we are going to check the output. The output is changed. Same like that we are going to do here also. Same way we are going to do here also. And before that, what we are going to do is, we are going to provide margin as 0 pixel. Margin as 0 pixel. Okay. So now what we are going to do is same thing, okay, same thing. We are going to, okay, we are going to open our, okay, wait, we are going to open our second.css. We are going to call main2, okay, so main2, and in our first.css I'm going to copy everything, okay, I'm going to copy everything, and I'm going to change only two things, okay. One thing is the height is going to be 70, the height is going to be 70, and then the background color is going to be like crimson, okay, the background color is going to be crimson, and same like that for third.cs also. So here what I'm going to do is dot main3, same concept which we done in our previous HTML classes. I'm going to paste here. So this is going to be only 15. So background, everything will be same, okay. So now what we are going to do is, we are going to for second.jsx and we are going to import. So quotation dot slash second dot css. Now we can see the output like this. Now we can see the output like this. And then what we are going to do is, yes. So now third dot jsx. Here also we are going to import. So quotation dot slash, okay. Okay, wait. Dot slash third dot cs, okay. So now our complete output is here. Only thing we need to do is we need to remove the margin universally, okay. We need to remove the margin universally, okay. For that we can provide in any cs, okay. We can provide any css. So you can provide in the first one also, you can provide in the second one also, third one also. I'm going to star, okay, using star universal selector. Margin is going to be 0 pixel. So now whenever I check the output, yes, universally the margin is became 0, okay. Universally the margin is became 0. And same way we can give the text aligned center. Universally the text will be aligned in center. And then color is going to be like white color. The color is going to be like white color, okay. Universally the color is going to be white color. And you can also provide font sizes XX large, okay. So now, okay, XX large is not enough. We can provide 70 pixel like that, okay. Yes, the first component, the second component, and third component. So now if you need the second component in another page, mean you can easily, okay, you can easily just copy, okay, just copy the second one, and then you are going to place the component here. So import and then place. So the component is exported the value. So import and then place is the only thing you need to do. Now we can see that the second component is again created, okay. So now we can guys able to understand. So this is the purpose. We call this as, yes, so reusability and then isolation, okay. So we need not to copy the entire code, entire HTML, entire CSS, okay. Only thing we need to do is just copy the component tag name, okay. That is called as user defined tag. So component tag name, and then going to replace it. It is super. So super means just type super burn in the chat box. Very simple. So don't worry. So this is your second day of React class. This is going to be our second day of React class. In our upcoming classes, we can able to understand these concepts very easily. Okay, in our upcoming class, you can able to understand these concepts very easily. Are guys clear now? Yes, I hope you guys clear. And I will give you a visual representation here. Yes. So this is our web page, okay, an empty web page. So this is going to be our index.html file, okay. Only in index.html file, everything is going to be placed. So in our index.html, we are going to render the app.js using main.js or index.js, okay. Are guys clear? So this is the concept I'm trying to tell you. In the index.html, this is the file we are going to see, okay. So this is our index.html. So in this index.html, we are going to return the app.js, okay. We are going to return the app.js using main.js. So now inside the app.js, yes, there are 3 child components. These child components are rendered in our index.html. So now look into this PPT again. Web page index.html is our main file. So inside that we are going to render our app.js using main.js. The first component, second component, and then our third component. So this is going to be our complete front end, okay. This is going to be our complete front end. In our next day class, we are going to edit this, okay. In our next day class, we are edit this, okay? Like we can provide novians and then our content and our third component. So these are the things we are going to see in our upcoming classes. So don't miss it out. So app.js is parent component. So these three are our child component, okay? Component 1, component 2 and component 3. And we are going to place these three components inside our app.js, okay? So announcement, there is going to be no attendance link. More than 70% is only needed. Minimum 23 days is required to get a free certificate. Use the same mail ID and then join our community group to clarify your doubts, okay? So thank you so much, guys. See you soon. A simple program. Kindly take notes. So only taking notes is enough to get your knowledge, okay? So see you soon. Take care and bye bye. Happy day.